You are 55 years old and sitting at your kitchen table on a Tuesday night. A glass of wine sits next to your laptop. You open your retirement account and stare at the number. $47,000. You have been working for 30 years. You have been saving. You have been responsible. And yet the number barely moves. The average American household has $87,000 saved for retirement. Financial advisors say you need around $1.26 million to retire comfortably. Most people are not even 10% of the way there. 39% of Americans say their biggest financial concern is not having enough saved for retirement. 54% of people have zero retirement savings. Zero. This is not happening because people are lazy or stupid. This is happening because of invisible financial leaks. Small decisions that feel harmless in the moment but compound into catastrophic losses over decades. My name is Bobby, and I spend an unhealthy amount of time thinking about why smart people make terrible financial decisions. Today, we are going to talk about 10 specific things delaying your retirement, not vague advice. Concrete, fixable problems that are bleeding your future dry right now. Thing number 1 is subscriptions on autopilot. You have streaming services, you have meal kits, you have that meditation app you downloaded 2 years ago and never opened. You have the premium Spotify, you have the cloud storage, you have Amazon Prime, you have the gym membership you have not used since February. Each one costs $15, $20, $30 per month. Individually, they feel harmless, but $20 12 times a year is $240. Multiply that by 5 subscriptions, and you are spending $1,200 annually on services you barely use. That $1,200 invested at 8% over 30 years becomes $144,000. The average American spends $924 per year on subscriptions. But research shows people underestimate their spending by massive amounts. One study found consumers thought they spent $86 per month, but actually spent $219, 2.5 times higher. 89% of consumers underestimate their subscription costs. Subscriptions are designed to make you forget they exist. They auto-renew. They increase prices without asking. Netflix was $7.99, then $10.99, then $13.99, a 75% increase, and you just kept paying. Over half of subscription users have at least one going completely unused each month. Every dollar you send to Netflix is a dollar not compounding in your retirement account. Every $20 subscription is $4,000 of future wealth you are incinerating. Thing number 2 is lifestyle inflation. You got a raise last year, $5,000 more per year. You felt rich for exactly 1 week. Then the money disappeared. You moved to a nicer apartment. You upgraded your car. You started buying fancy coffee. Within 3 months, your new salary felt exactly like your old salary, and you were broke again. This is lifestyle inflation, and it is the reason you never feel wealthy no matter how much you earn. Psychologists call it the hedonic treadmill. You adapt to higher standards of living within 4 to 6 months. What felt like a luxury becomes your new baseline. The dopamine hit fades, but the expense stays forever. Research shows that as people make more money, their expectations and desires rise in tandem, resulting in no permanent gain in happiness. You get the raise. You feel happy for a few weeks. Then you adapt. Your happiness returns to baseline, but your expenses stay elevated. The tragedy is this happens unconsciously. You do not sit down and decide to inflate your lifestyle. It creeps in through 1,000 small decisions. The $7 latte instead of the $3 coffee. The $80 jeans instead of 40. Each decision feels justified. You worked hard. You deserve nice things. But those small decisions add up to thousands per year that could be building your retirement. Every time you get a raise and immediately increase spending, you reset the clock on retirement. $5,000 extra per year invested at 8% for 30 years is $566,000. Instead, you have a nicer car that will be worthless in 10 years. Thing number 3 is timing the market. You have $10,000 sitting in your checking account. You know you should invest it, but the market seems high or volatile, or maybe you are waiting for a dip or waiting until you understand investing better. So the money sits earning 0.01% while inflation eats it alive. Let me show you the math. If you invest $10,000 today at 8%, you will have $46,609 in 20 years. If you wait 5 years, you will have $31,722. You lost $14,887 by waiting 5 years. Not because you invested poorly, because you waited. Time in the market beats timing the market. The S&P 500 has returned an average of 8 to 10% annually since the 1920s. If you are in the market, you capture that average. If you are sitting on the sidelines waiting for perfect conditions, you capture nothing. The biggest market gains happen in just a handful of days scattered across years. If you miss those days, your returns get destroyed. You cannot predict which days will be the big up days. Nobody can. So the only winning strategy is to be in the market consistently. Every month you delay investing costs, you compounding time you can never get back. A 25-year-old who invests $5,000 per year until 65 will have over $1.4 million. A 35-year-old investing the same amount will have $640,000. A 45-year-old will have $273,000. The 25-year-old only contributed $50,000 more, but ended up with $1.1 million more due to compound interest. Thing number 4 is ignoring compound interest. Most people understand compound interest intellectually, but they do not feel the magnitude deep in their bones. Compound interest is the difference between working until 70 and retiring at 55. Warren Buffett said his wealth came from living in America, some lucky genes, and compound interest. One of the richest people on earth credits compound interest as a primary driver, not stock-picking genius, compound interest. Here is what it looks like in practice. You invest $100,000 at 8%. After 10 years, you have $215,000. After 20 years, $466,000. After 30 years, $1,634,000. You only contributed $100,000, but you end up with $1.6 million. The other $1.5 million is pure compound interest. If you start investing at 25, contributing $500 per month until 65, you will have $1.8 million. Start at 35. With the same contribution, you will have $754,000. Start at 45, you will have $304,000. The difference between starting at 25 versus 45 is $1.5 million. Same monthly contribution. The only difference is time. Most people quit in the first decade because results feel too small. They do not stick around long enough to see the exponential growth phase. They miss the miracle because they got impatient waiting for the setup. Thing number 5 is high interest debt. You have $7,000 in credit card debt at 18% interest. You also have $3,000 in savings earning 1%. You feel smart because you have emergency savings, but you are financially drowning. You are paying $1,260 per year in credit card interest while earning $30 on savings. You are losing $1,230 annually. If you paid off that credit card with your savings, you would immediately save $1,260 per year in interest. After 30 years, that saved interest invested at 8% becomes $143,000. You traded $143,000 of future retirement for false security. Credit cards are reverse compound interest. An 18% rate means your debt grows 18% per year if you only make minimums. You owe $7,000 this year. Next year, $8,260. You are running on the treadmill backward. Pay off high-interest debt before you do anything else, before you invest, before you save. High-interest debt is a financial emergency happening in slow motion. You cannot invest your way out of 18% interest. The market might return 8%, but your credit card is guaranteed negative 18%. Thing number 6 is no emergency fund. You do not have 6 months of expenses saved, so when something goes wrong, you put it on a credit card or raid your retirement account. Both options destroy your future. Here is what happens without an emergency fund. Your car breaks down, $1,500 repair. You do not have it, so you put it on a credit card at 18%. Next month, your dog gets sick, $800 vet bill on the card. An emergency fund breaks this cycle. When your car breaks down, you write a check from savings. Annoying but not catastrophic. No interest charges, no credit damage. You rebuild the fund over the next few months and move on. The brutal truth is retirement savings comes second to emergency savings. If you do not have an emergency fund, you are one breakdown away from derailing your entire financial life. Your retirement savings are sitting there looking attractive during emergencies. You will raid them. Build the emergency fund first, then attack debt, then invest for retirement, in that order. Thing number 7 is keeping up with the Joneses. Your friends went to Bali. They posted photos. Now you want to go to Bali. Your neighbor bought a new car. Now your car looks sad. Your coworker remodeled their kitchen. Now your kitchen feels like a cave. You are being psychologically manipulated by comparison every single day. Social media has weaponized envy. Your feed is an endless stream of highlight reels, vacations, purchases, achievements. Everyone looks happy. Everyone looks successful. So you spend to keep up. Here is what you do not see. Your friends who went to Bali put $8,000 on credit cards. Your neighbor with the new car has a $600 monthly payment and cannot afford to retire. Your coworker with the dream kitchen just took out a home equity loan they will pay off for 15 years. Everyone is faking it. Everyone is broke. Everyone is trading their future for the appearance of success right now. Status symbols are the opposite of wealth. Rich people drive 10-year-old cars. Wealthy people do not care what their kitchen looks like. People with actual money do not feel the need to perform wealth on social media because they do not care what you think. Every dollar you spend on visible consumption is a dollar that cannot compound. That vacation, that car, that kitchen. They do not appreciate. They do not generate income. They make you look successful while guaranteeing you will never actually be successful. Stop performing. Start building. Nobody cares about your vacation photos. Nobody remembers your car. You are spending a fortune to impress people who are not paying attention. Thing number 8 is not maxing employer match. Your company offers a 401k with a 5% match. Free money, instant 100% return. Except nearly half of employees do not contribute enough to get the full match. They are leaving free money on the table. Let me do the math. You make $60,000 per year. 5% is $3,000. Your employer matches $3,000. That is $6,000 per year. Over 30 years at 8%, that becomes $679,000 from your contribution. The employer match adds another $679,000. Total of $1.3 million. If you only contribute 3% to save money, you contribute $1,800 per year. Your employer matches $1,800. That is $3,600 total. Over 30 years that grows to $407,000. You saved $1,200 per year in your budget. That $1,200 per year cost you $872,000 in retirement savings. You threw away $800,000 to have an extra $100 per month right now. The employer match is not a bonus. It is part of your compensation. When you do not contribute enough to get the full match, you are taking a pay cut. Your salary is effectively 5% lower. If money is tight, you need to make cuts elsewhere. Cancel subscriptions. Stop eating out. Drive the old car longer. Do whatever it takes to capture the full employer match. This is not optional. This is the foundation of retirement savings. Thing number 9 is investing too conservatively. You are 35 and your entire retirement account is in bonds and cash. You think you are protecting yourself from risk. You are actually guaranteeing you will not have enough money to retire. Bonds and cash might return 3 to 4% annually. The stock market has historically returned 8 to 10%. $100,000 invested in bonds at 3% for 30 years becomes $2.4 million. The same money in stocks at 8% becomes $10.06 million. You gave up $7.6 million in exchange for feeling safe. The real risk is not volatility. The real risk is inflation. Cash and bonds get eaten alive by inflation. A 3% return when inflation is running at 3% means your real return is 0. You are treading water. Stocks historically outpace inflation by 5 to 7% annually. When you are young, volatility does not matter. You have 30 years until retirement. The market will crash multiple times. None of it matters because you are not withdrawing the money. Short-term volatility is noise. Long-term growth is signal. Your asset allocation should match your timeline. If you need money in 5 years, keep it in bonds. If you need money in 30 years, put it in stocks. A 35-year-old should be 90% stocks. A 55-year-old should be 70% stocks. As you get closer to retirement, you gradually shift towards safer investments. Every percentage point of return matters. The difference between 5% and 8% is the difference between a comfortable retirement and scraping by. Thing number 10 is waiting for perfect conditions. You are going to start investing when you pay off your car, when you get a raise, when you fully understand the market, when you have more money, when the market stops being volatile. None of those conditions will ever arrive. There will always be a reason to wait. If you wait for perfect conditions, you will never start. The best time to start investing was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now, not next month, not after you finish that loan. Today, this moment, with whatever money you have. You do not need to understand the entire market. You do not need thousands of dollars. You can open an investment account with $100. You can start contributing $50 per month. It is not about the amount, it is about the habit. Perfectionists never start. They wait forever. They retire broke. Done is better than perfect. Imperfect action beats perfect inaction every time. Open the account today even if you do not fully understand it. Start the process even if you are scared. You can always adjust later. The people who retire wealthy are not the people who waited for perfect conditions. They are the people who started messy and early. They made mistakes and learned and kept going. Here is how to fix all 10 problems starting today. First, audit your subscriptions. Go through your bank statements for the last 3 months. Write down every recurring charge. Cancel anything you have not used in the past month. Be ruthless. That $20 subscription is $24,000 of retirement wealth over 30 years. Second, cap your lifestyle. Take your next raise and split it. Half goes to lifestyle if you want. Half goes straight to retirement savings. Automate it so the money moves before you see it. This prevents lifestyle inflation while still allowing you to enjoy increased income. Third, invest immediately. Open a brokerage account today. Set up automatic transfers. Start with whatever amount does not make you panic. $50 per month. $100 per month. Once the automation is set up, increase it by 1% every time you get a raise. Fourth, make compound interest visible. Use a compound interest calculator to see what your current contributions will become in 30 years. Then see what happens if you add an extra 100 per month. The numbers will shock you. That visualization will motivate you. Fifth, attack high-interest debt like it is on fire. Make a list of all debts sorted by interest rate. Pay minimums on everything. Throw every spare dollar at the highest interest rate debt until it is gone. Then roll that payment into the next highest rate debt. Only then can you start building wealth. Sixth, build a 1-month emergency fund before anything else. 1 month of expenses. Not 6, not 3. 1 month. This is enough to prevent most financial emergencies from spiraling. Once you have 1 month saved, you can split focus between building the fund to 3 months and investing. Seventh, unfollow everyone who makes you want to spend money. Unfollow influencers. Unfollow lifestyle accounts. Unfollow anyone whose content makes you feel inadequate. Fill your feed with people talking about financial independence. Change your inputs and your outputs change automatically. Eighth, contribute enough to get your full employer match no matter what. This is non-negotiable. Cut every other expense before you cut retirement contributions below the match threshold. That is free money. Nothing is more important than capturing that match. Ninth, adjust your asset allocation to match your age. If you are under 40, you should be at least 80% stocks. Use a target date retirement fund if you do not want to think about it. These funds automatically adjust as you age. Set it and forget it. 10th, start today with whatever you have, even if it is $25. Even if you do not fully understand investing, open the account, make the first contribution. The hardest part is starting. Once you start, the momentum builds. You are not going to retire by accident. You are not going to wake up at 65 with enough money because you sort of tried and hoped for the best. You are going to retire when you decide to retire, when you get ruthless about eliminating waste, when you automate investing, when you treat your retirement account like it is more important than your lifestyle. Most people reading this will do nothing. They will nod along. They will agree with everything. Then they will close this and go back to exactly what they were doing before. They will keep their subscriptions. They will keep inflating their lifestyle. They will keep waiting for perfect conditions. They will retire broke. Do not be most people. Be the person who stops right now and opens an investment account. Be the person who audits their subscriptions tonight. Be the person who commits to capturing their full employer match starting next paycheck. Be the person who treats this like the financial emergency it is. You have 10 problems delaying your retirement. You now have 10 solutions. The only question is whether you are going to implement them or whether you are going to keep running the same patterns and expecting different results. Your 65-year-old self is watching you right now. They are hoping you make the right choice. They are hoping you prioritize their well-being over your current comfort. They are hoping you understand that every dollar you invest today is freedom you give them tomorrow. Do not let them down.